There was once a monk who lived high in the mountains. People traveled for days just to ask him one question. How do I end my suffering? And every single time, he would smile and say the same thing. But what he said wasn't what people expected. It wasn't some ancient secret or complicated ritual. It was so simple that most people didn't believe it at first. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what he meant, and more importantly, how you can apply it to your own life starting today. Suffering is something we all experience. Maybe you're dealing with heartbreak right now. Maybe you've lost someone you love. Maybe you're stuck in a job you hate. Or you're carrying guilt from past mistakes. Maybe you just feel empty inside and you don't even know why. The pain feels real, doesn't it? It feels heavy, like a weight you carry everywhere you go. But here's something most people don't realize. Suffering isn't just about what happens to you. Two people can go through the exact same situation, and one person comes out broken while the other comes out stronger. Why is that? What's the difference? That's what we're going to explore today. Because once you understand the real nature of suffering, you'll discover that you have more power over it than you ever imagined. Let me tell you about a woman I once heard of. She lost her only child to illness. For months, she couldn't eat or sleep. Her grief consumed her completely. One day, she went to a wise teacher and begged him, "Please take away my pain. I can't live like this anymore." The teacher looked at her with compassion and said, "I will help you, but first you must do something for me. Go to every house in the village and bring me a mustard seed from any home that has never experienced death or suffering." The woman felt hope for the first time in months. She went from door to door, asking for a mustard seed. But at every house, the same thing happened. People would say, "Yes, you can have a mustard seed, but we have known suffering too." One family had lost a father. Another had lost a mother. Some had lost children, just like her. Others had experienced illness, poverty, or heartbreak. By the end of the day, she returned to the teacher empty-handed. But something had changed in her eyes. She realized that suffering wasn't something that happened only to her. It was part of being human. Everyone she met was carrying their own pain, their own losses. This realization didn't take away her grief, but it transformed how she carried it. This story reveals the first truth about suffering. It's universal. You are not being singled out by life. You are not cursed. You are simply experiencing what every human being experiences. But knowing this isn't enough. We need to go deeper. Buddha said something profound 2,500 years ago. He said that the root of all suffering is attachment. Now, when most people hear this, they misunderstand it. They think it means we shouldn't love anyone or care about anything. That's not it at all. Attachment means clinging. It means holding on so tightly to things that when they change or leave, we break apart. Think about it. When do you suffer the most? When something you're attached to is threatened or taken away. When someone you love leaves. When your plans don't work out. When your body gets sick. When you don't get the respect you think you deserve. The problem isn't loving people or wanting things. The problem is believing that your happiness depends on those things staying exactly as they are. But here's the reality. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. Your body will age. People will come and go from your life. Situations will shift. That's not a curse. That's just how life works. I knew someone who worked incredibly hard to build a business. He poured everything into it, his time, his money, his energy, his identity. When the business failed, he fell into deep depression. He said, "I've lost everything." But had he really? He still had his health, his family, his skills, his ability to learn and start again. What he had really lost was the image he had built in his mind of who he was supposed to be. This brings us to the second cause of suffering, resistance. We suffer not just because things change, but because we resist that change. We fight against reality. We say, "This shouldn't be happening. This isn't fair. Why me?" And in that resistance, we create our own pain. Think about physical pain for a moment. When you tense up and resist the pain, it actually gets worse. But when you breathe into it and relax, something shifts. The same is true for emotional pain. The more we resist what's happening, the more we suffer. So if attachment and resistance cause suffering, what's the solution? This is where that monk from the beginning comes in. When people asked him how to end their suffering, he would say, "Stop arguing with reality. Accept what is. And then act from there." Let me break this down because it's easy to misunderstand. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean you stop trying to improve your life or that you tolerate abuse or injustice. Acceptance means you stop wasting energy fighting against what has already happened. You acknowledge reality as it is right now, not as you wish it would be. There's a powerful practice that can help with this. It's called radical acceptance. Here's how it works. When something painful happens, instead of immediately jumping to "this is terrible, this shouldn't be happening," you pause and say, "This is what's happening right now. I don't like it, but this is the reality." Just that simple shift can reduce your suffering dramatically. I'll give you an example. Let's say you just lost your job. The natural response is panic, anger, shame. Why did this happen to me? I'm a failure. My life is ruined. But what if instead you said, "I lost my job. This is difficult. This is my current reality. Now what's my next step?" Can you feel the difference? One response keeps you stuck in suffering. The other acknowledges the difficulty, but opens the door to moving forward. Another key practice is letting go of expectations. This doesn't mean having no goals or plans. It means holding your expectations lightly. Hope for the best, prepare for different outcomes, but don't build your entire happiness on one specific thing happening. When you tie your peace of mind to external circumstances that you can't fully control, you set yourself up for suffering. There's also immense power in gratitude, even during difficult times. This might sound impossible when you're in pain, but stay with me. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means finding what's still good even when things are hard. Even in the darkest moment, there's usually something. You're still breathing, someone still cares about you, you have another chance to try tomorrow. Research has actually shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience less depression and anxiety. It literally rewires your brain to notice the good alongside the bad, instead of only focusing on what's wrong. Now here's something beautiful that happens when you stop resisting your suffering. You start to learn from it. Every difficult experience carries a lesson if you're willing to see it. Maybe that betrayal taught you to trust your instincts. Maybe that failure showed you what really matters. Maybe that loss revealed how strong you actually are. There's a Japanese art form called kintsugi. When a bowl breaks, instead of throwing it away or trying to hide the cracks, they repair it with gold. The broken places become the most beautiful parts of the bowl. They don't pretend the bowl was never broken. They honor the history and make it more valuable because of what it went through. That's what we can do with our suffering. We don't have to pretend it didn't happen or that it didn't hurt, but we can choose to let it make us more compassionate, more resilient, more real. Some of the kindest people you'll ever meet are those who have suffered deeply. They know what pain feels like, so they're gentle with others who are hurting. I want you to think about your own life for a moment. What's causing you the most suffering right now? Is it something that happened in the past that you're still holding on to? Is it fear about the future? Is it resistance to your current circumstances? Whatever it is, I want you to try something. Just for a moment, stop fighting it. Stop arguing with it. Take a deep breath and say, "This is where I am right now. I accept this reality. And from this place, I will take my next step." Let me give you some practical steps you can start using today to reduce your suffering. First, practice mindfulness. This simply means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Most of our suffering comes from replaying the past or worrying about the future. When you bring your attention fully to right now, this breath, this moment, you often find that right now is actually okay. The suffering exists in your thoughts about the past or future, not in this present moment. Second, question your thoughts. When you're suffering, there's usually a story running through your mind. I'm not good enough. Nothing ever works out for me. I'll always be alone. Ask yourself, is this thought absolutely true? Can I know for certain this is true? What would my life be like without this thought? Often, we discover that these stories are opinions, not facts, and we have the power to change them. Third, connect with others. Suffering isolates us. We think we're the only ones going through this, or that no one would understand. But connection heals. Talk to someone you trust. Join a support group. Share your story. You'll be amazed how many people resonate with what you're going through. Fourth, help someone else. This might sound counterintuitive when you're suffering, but one of the fastest ways to reduce your own pain is to ease someone else's. Volunteer, help a neighbor, be there for a friend. It shifts your focus and reminds you that you have something valuable to give, even in your pain. Finally, be patient with yourself. Ending suffering isn't about flipping a switch. It's a practice. Some days will be easier than others. On the hard days, be as kind to yourself as you would be to a good friend who's struggling. You're doing the best you can with what you know right now. And that's enough. Suffering is part of being human, but prolonged suffering, the kind that crushes your spirit and steals your joy, that's optional. That's created by how we relate to our pain, not by the pain itself. When you stop resisting, when you stop demanding that life be different than it is, when you stop clinging to things that are meant to flow and change, you free yourself. This doesn't mean you'll never feel pain again. You will. Life is full of challenges and losses. But you don't have to suffer endlessly because of them. You can feel the pain, honor it, learn from it, and then let it transform you instead of destroy you. I want to leave you with one final thought. Your suffering has brought you here, to this moment, searching for answers. That means you haven't given up. That means somewhere inside you, there's still hope, still strength, still a desire for something better. Trust that. The very fact that you're seeking a way out of suffering means you have the power to find it. Starting today, try just one thing we talked about. Practice acceptance for just one situation that's bothering you. Or spend 5 minutes in gratitude. Or question one painful thought. Small steps create big changes over time. You don't have to transform everything at once. Just begin. Your suffering doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. And you have more power in that response than you've ever been told. If this video resonated with you, follow us for more videos like this. Subscribe so you don't miss the wisdom that might change your life. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're all walking this path together, learning how to carry our pain with grace and find peace even in the storm. Thank you for being here, and see you in the next video.